Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we will talk about all the Indian spices which you will ever need in order to make Indian food at home. So if you are just like me and want to make some Indian food at home but doesn't know which spices you would need, this video will really help you out with that. In order to keep the things simple, I have divided the spices into 3 categories. The first category is must-have spices. These are all the spices which you will require in order to make any Indian food at home. It doesn't matter if you cook occasionally or if you cook on daily basis, you will need these spices. Even if you cook at occasional basis, you will still need these spices. So it's highly recommended to have all of these must-have spices at home. The second category is nice to have spices. These are all those spices which might be required to make Indian food, but you don't have to have all of these in order to make the food. You can still make some amazing dishes without them, but there are definitely some of the spices which are good to have. So I will try to point out all those spices and I will mention those which are occasionally required. And the last category is spice lovers. These are all the leftover spices which are not mentioned in the first 2 categories, and we really don't need these spices, but I will specifically mention those which might be required. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Before I mention about any of the spice, I would like to differentiate the spices into 2 categories. So every spice is it in 2 forms. They are either ground spices or they are whole spices. As the name suggests, the whole spice is the spice itself. But if that whole spice is converted to a powder form, it's known as ground spice. Every single spice which I will mention ahead will be available in ground form or whole form, but I will mention which form is required in order to make the food. And there is one other thing to note, you can have either of these and both will work exactly in the same manner, but each one has their own merits and demerits. So I will also mention that during the video. Okay, so let's start with the must-have category. The first spice you will need is turmeric. Turmeric is one of the most important spices for making any Indian food. It provides the yellow color to the food and has many good benefits to it. The next spice which you will need is cumin. As you can see, we have whole cumin and we have grounded cumin. I have both kind of cumins at home, but I would suggest you to go with the whole cumin as it is more versatile and we can make it in powder form if we will ever need it. But you can have both of these if you make the food on daily basis. But if you cook on occasional basis, I would just suggest you to go with the whole cumin only. The third spice which you will need is coriander powder. This is one of the most important spice in order to make the Indian curries. The next one in this list is the red chili powder. I know many of you don't like Indian food just because of the spice level. So this is the spice which actually increases the spice level in any food. This is the powder which makes the food hot. So if you are among those who don't like hot food, I would still suggest you to have this spice at home because Indian food won't taste like Indian food unless you put some spice in it. But if you can't handle the spice, you can put small quantities of it. But if you are among those who can't handle any heat level, I would suggest you to go with Kashmiri chili. As you can see, both of these chilies looks exactly the same, but Kashmiri chili is way less hot compared to red chili powder. Kashmiri chili is just a tiny bit more spicier than paprika powder. The last spice I would like to mention is garam masala. Garam masala is one of those spices which enhance the taste of the food, and you will need this spice in order to have a great Indian dish. So as I said, all these spices are must-have spices. If you want to make Indian food at home, you need all of these spices at home. And if you are missing any of these, it's hard to make the authentic Indian dish. But these spices were the base spices and there is a long list of Indian spices. And if you cook on daily basis, I would suggest you to have some of the other spices as well. But I will mention all those which are required and all those which are not required at all. So let's go ahead in our video. The next category is nice to have spices. So these are all the spices which are required for the food. I'm gonna use most of these spices at home, but these spices are not mandatory in order to make food. These spices definitely enhance the food flavor, but there are definitely some spices which are not required, so we don't need it. But I will mention the ones which are required. The first one in this list is black pepper. We all use black pepper at home, so it's good to have. The next one in this list is dry fenugreek leaves. I won't take this in spices, but it's really good to have these leaves at home. If you want to make the amazing butter chicken or other gravies, these leaves are really good to have. The next one in this list is green cardamom. You can take the powder form or the whole spice, but I will suggest you to have the whole green cardamom, and we usually use this for making Indian curries. It's good to have, but it's not mandatory. The next one in this list is dry red chili. Again, this is good to have but not mandatory. It will definitely increase the hotness level in the food, but it makes food really good in color and enhance the taste. So if you are really into Indian food, I would suggest you to have this one, but you can left this out as well. The next one in this list is asafoetida. This spice is only used for good digestion. It has nothing to do with the taste of the food, but it increases the digestion of the Indian food. The next one in this list is mango powder. This mango powder is rarely used, so I would suggest you not to buy this one unless if you want to make Indian food on daily basis. The next one is fennel seeds. Fennel seeds are used in a handful of dishes only, and it's more like a mouth freshener which is served after eating the Indian food. So you don't need to have this, and that's why it's in nice to have list. The next few spices I am going to mention here are the whole spices, and these spices will be used by me on daily basis. But I would suggest you to have this only and only if you are serious about making food at home. These are really expensive spices, and these spices all get together to make the garam masala. So if you see the garam masala, it has all of these spices, but having the whole form of these spices really enhance the taste of the food. Most of the restaurants use these spices, even I use this at home, but these are not the spices which you need to have in order to make the food. You can use the garam masala and you are good to go, but you can have these spices if you really want the authentic Indian food. So these spices are bay leaves, cinnamon sticks, cloves and black cardamom. There are some other whole spices as well which I have not added to the list, and there is endless list of these kind of whole spices, but we don't need any of those because we can put whatever spices we want to, but I don't want to make it difficult for you, so let's keep it simple. There are two more spices which I would like to mention, and one of these are not spice itself, but these are really good spices if you want to make South Indian dishes. On this channel I am more focused on the North Indian food because I belong to the North India. But I have both of these at home because sometimes I want to make those amazing dosas and sambars, and these spices are required in order to make those. I have hardly few dishes where I will use these spices, so I would suggest you to not have these unless and until you want to try those South Indian dishes. The first one is mustard seeds and the second one is curry leaves. Before going into the spice lovers category, I would like you to know that all of these spices are easily available in the Walmart, Freshco, Target, Save On Foods and other grocery chains. All of the footage which you have seen is from these grocery chains only. So you can easily find all of these spices from these grocery chains. But there might be some spices which are not available here, and these are easily available in any Indian store. If you have any Indian store in your nearby area, you can buy the other spices which you don't find in Walmart and other grocery stores. But I am sure you will be able to find all of this in these grocery stores only. And I would like to mention about the Costco. I have tried to go through the spice section of Costco and I have not found any of the Indian spice there other than turmeric or maybe black pepper. So Costco won't be a good option in order to buy these spices. Now let's go to the spice lover categories. So these are all the spices which I have kept in the spice lovers category. These are all the food specific packed spice boxes which are not required. If you see closely, these spices are made from the mixture of all the other spices which I have already mentioned, and most of these spices are in our must have category. These are just a combination of other spices which we already have, and as you can see, coriander powder, cumin powder and other are one of the most important ingredients here. But I would like to mention that these spices sometimes makes the life easy, as you don't have to worry about the specific dish and you can just use this spice. So I would suggest you to go with those which you are going to make on somewhat daily basis. You can go with the chicken masala, but only buy these if you are going to make that frequently. Otherwise you can just avoid this spice. In this category I am not suggesting anything, but there are few spices which I would like to mention here because I am going to use those, and I would like you to have these, as these spices can be used in many other places. The first one in this list is pav bhaji masala. So this is one of the most amazing spice, as it's not just for the pav bhaji but it can be used in many other dishes. The second one in this list is pudina. Pudina is just like the mint but in powder form. I would suggest you to have this at home in order to make that amazing mint sauce, and you don't have to worry about buying the fresh mint. But if you can have the fresh mint, that would be amazing, and you don't need this box. The last one I would like to mention is Kitchen King masala. This is one of the most amazing spice which can be used in almost every single dish. I would highly suggest you to have this spice at home, as we are going to use it on daily basis. Other than this, you can maybe go with kadai chicken, as kadai chicken have some of the spices which you are not going to buy, so you can go with the box and make your life easy. But whenever I am going to make the kadai chicken, I will show you how I am going to make that masala specifically for that dish. And if you don't have ingredients for that, this spice will be really helpful. Other than that, you don't need any other spice from this list. These boxes are usually available in Walmart and every other store, so you can have a look through all of these. So guys, I have tried to keep the thing simple and mention about all the Indian spices. I have tried to categorize this in easiest manner possible. So if you have any other questions, you can comment down below and I will help you with that. Hopefully Indian spices now make more sense and you will buy some of the spices and make the Indian food with me. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.